And it goes around right here. So I'm going to open up the power scrubber that I have right here, which I just got. Come onto the side. Comes in a nice box. We're going to pull this out. We're going to assemble this, and I'm going to show you how it works. Here's a quick start guide. Remember to read this. LABIGO, LABIGO. I don't know how to pronounce this. Here's one of the scrubbers. Look at that. This is one of the scrubbers. I'll just lay this to the side so you can see that. Side here, what do we have in this box? We have the charging cable. And at the side, we have this part of the device right here. Do not soak the whole scrubber into the water. Important note to see that right there. So put that scrubber right there. And then we have a scrubber with an angle pointy cone-shaped tip to it. We're getting hard to get spaces. We have a smaller scrubber. See that? We have a scrubber that looks similar to what goes inside of a toilet. Right there. This looks like some sort of clip to hook it onto. This is the main hole to it. Right there. This is another, I think, looks like an extension clip. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this right here. Pretty cool. Looks like this is an extender of some sort. I'm going to go ahead and assemble this. It looks fairly easy to assemble. This looks like the end. I'm going to take that. Snaps into place like that. And then this is the end. Snap that into place. This looks where you charge it up at. It may need a charge. I'm going to see relatively shortly. I'm going to go ahead and put a brush on here. I'm going to put this brush on here. Simply just go up to it and pops on easily. All right. And to undo it, I think you just go like this. Push this button, comes off. It has some power to it, so I'm going to go ahead and clean with this. All right. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And so I have a shower, of course, and it's relatively dirty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it. I'm going to show you some of the soap scum that I have going on right here. There's a lot of soap scum in there. And I'm basically just going to go ahead, turn on the shower. I'm going to get it wet, that way get the shower wet or the tub wet so the soap scum comes off relatively easily. Gonna get the walls. All right, so I got it wet, and this will start the soaking action. And then what I have here, I also have some scrubbing bubbles right here. All right, so the scrubbing bubbles that I have right here, it is a bathroom grime fighter. So I guess you can say that I am a grime fighter. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, instead of spraying the whole thing and letting it soak, I'm letting the water sit on it. Let me turn the water off for a second. And then I'm gonna apply this directly to the brush and see what I can get with just applying it directly to the brush. All right, so give me a second. Give me a second, set this down. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna apply it directly to the brush. All right, so I'm gonna put the grime fighting stuff directly on the brush and just spray quite a bit on it. Let's get it enough. And it goes inside of the brush. You can see that. There's a lot of it inside of the brush. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and I'm going to get to scrubbing. And it goes around right here. It's pretty cool because I don't have to do a lot of scrubbing to get the soap scum off like I normally would. Get inside of the bathtub. Actually, I'll hit the power button. And so basically this is taking a lot of the work out of it. Especially around here in the corners. There's a lot of soap scum in the corners. And that is just coming right up. This is a really handy tool. Stick in the corner. You can also get the walls. Really convenient. The soap scum is just like, it's coming right off. It's really amazing. Be down here. And I'm gonna have to use a little bit, get more water in it. Got a little bit more water. Still some grime fighting stuff down there. And what's really helpful is getting the corners, because those can be challenging. Press the power button. So I keep on pressing the power button by accident. That's one thing to note about it. Getting the corners. Soap scum is just coming up. Really cool. Get down in here. It's a very convenient way of keeping the bathtub sparkling clean. Very cool. And getting the tile, the wall, a lot of soap scum ends up in there. I'm just going back and forth, and it's really taking a lot of the work out of cleaning bathtub, especially when it comes to the corners. Pretty nice.
Now I'm going to be using this on a stovetop. I'm going to be using Mr. Clean as well as using a power scrubber. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little bit of water on it to the stove in order to get some moisture on there before I add the Mr. Clean. Now it's important not to use too much of the solution of Mr. Clean on the stove because a little bit goes a long way with the power scrubber. So I poured some down on there. Now I'm just going to take the power scrubber, and as you can see I have a different attachment than what I used on the bathtub. So I'm just going to take it and just keep on going side to side with the scrubber and letting it do its thing. As you can see, I'm going back and forth, making sure I go in straight lines to ensure that I don't miss a spot while using the power scrubber. Now it's important to go slow when you're going back and forth on these lines because the power scrubber actually does all of the work. One of the reasons why I poured water down initially with the cleaning solution was to allow the crud or the hardened food to soften to assist with the scrubbing of the power scrubber. Occasionally I'll go in circular motions. I'm not sure if that helps out a lot, but it looks cool. It makes me look like I know what I'm doing. And then I go back and forth. I look almost like a professional doing this with this power scrubber. And after I go over it once with the power scrubber, the moisture from the water that I put down as well as the solution actually works a little bit better. I've allowed the power scrubber to expose a little bit more surface area to the hardened crud food that's stuck onto the counter, allowing the water and the solution to penetrate deeper into the hardened food. Occasionally, spaghetti sauce splatters against the back wall and it hardens, and I just use the scrubber to go along the back wall as the scrubber removes hardened food off the back wall just as easily as it does on the stove. Now, it's important to note that when scrubbing the back of the wall, make sure that there's not too much of the moisture solution of water and Mr. Clean on the scrubber, because a lot of that moisture can drip down. It's also important to note to get the corners. Now, right here I have a hard countertop, and I've allowed some of the moisture and solution to be absorbed by the hardened food. And now I'm just coming over the hardened food one more time with the scrubber in order to soften it, release it, and eventually be wiped out. So after I've scrubbed all over the surfaces with the power scrubber, I'll let it sit for a minute or two, and then I'll take a cloth, a moist cloth, and then just go over it to wipe up any of the hardened food that has been released. And before you know it, I have a clean countertop and stove. I hope this was helpful. Thanks a lot for watching.